Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. In the last episode we made it here to Elona Reach. Making our way through the desert. This is our second of 3 challenges, all themed after the various kinds of PvP available in this game. I believe this one is, yes, okay, so essentially we pick up these crystals from these guys, and then we bring them back to the ghostly hero in the center. Essentially capture the flag. I believe in the actual PvP mode, obviously, people can come and take the flag back, but I don't think the NPCs do that. I could be wrong about that. But I am not exactly 100% on that. One of the things in this mission is there are these splinter mines all over the place, which are, So one thing to be careful with is, like, here I'm standing on top of the bridge, so I'm going to aggro all these things underneath. Because despite the fact you can't jump this game, so this game doesn't have a Y-axis, things can actually, like, hit you through the floor, too. So I'm just going to use myself here to kind of body block these enemies, and hope that we can just kind of nuke them down before they can kill them 2 times. You're a friend. There we go. There's our friend. Someone has leveled up. I believe it was Oleus who leveled up. Yep. Do some more restoration. So you heal a bit more. So these splinter mines are kind of like the, I don't say unique because that's not really the term, but the main, like, weird thing about the mission, if you go near them, they essentially, let me show you. They spawn this little area here, and if you stay in it, you get crippled and poisoned for staying near them. You can turn them off by essentially talking to them or interacting with them. You'll see that more as the mission goes on. This is the easiest of the 3 missions because I believe this one doesn't really have a failure state. Like, assuming you don't die, you can just clear group by group. There's no, like, enemies don't respawn or anything like that, unlike the other ones.
So begins the test of the Elonians. This was where my people failed to ascend. When assembled, the vision crystal can focus the gaze of the gods and deliver to you the ascension that you seek. You've brought me the first shard, but you must still retrieve the others. Ultimately, the shards of the vision crystal were kept in separate camps, for we did not trust each other, not even our own kin.
Oh man.
To pass this test,
I like these flags swinging.
Retrieve the remaining 2 shards.
Okay, let's go get the 2 shards then.
There is 1 in each base. Return here with the shards, and I will cast the ritual to fuse them back together. But you must hurry. Once the ritual begins, it cannot be stopped. If I do not have all 3 pieces, then all of this will be for naught.
Okay. Yeah, so there is a failure state, a half an hour to do the mission, but that's not, like, that's plenty of time. I love his sword he has. The sword he has is actually a weapon you can get from the underworld, which is like the, you know, the afterlife in-game. It's called the Eternal Blade. It was the first, like, high-end weapon or expensive cosmetic I ever purchased in this game, was an Eternal Blade for myself, and I still have mine on one of my characters somewhere. Actually, I think I traded mine away to get a better one. No earth lump. But yeah, so we just have to go these side camps here. So here we can see the mechanic I was talking about. If you go up to these things and you interact with them, you can pick up the little like ball that they have in them. Then you can drop it somewhere else. And I believe if you drop it, you can use the effect. So like, let me adjust this out. So if I pick it up and then I drop it. And there's a couple elites in each camp. Interestingly, it's these enchanted swords and stuff in these camps, or in this camp, along with the Forgotten, the snake people. Which, I mean, now that I think about it, can actually be kind of confusing because the dude talks about his people being here. But obviously these aren't the Elonians. The Elonians are humans just like us. And they're long dead. But now that I think about it, that could be confusing and could make people think that the Elonians turned into the snake people. They did not. This is one of those missions as well that's much faster with other players because you can split up and go to the different camps. Instead of all going to the same camp. Alright, a healer back there. Let's finish off that healer. Ooh, that earthquake did a lot of damage. Oh, we are getting nuked up. What is going on here? Whoa, 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 whoa. What on earth was that? Why do they do so much damage? In normal mode. No. 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 Not yet. Alright, now you can res. Okay, I think we should be fine here. Yeah, so we can over aggro here pretty clearly. It looks like, holy heck, dude, I did not expect them to do that much damage to us. These Arcanists are no joke. I mean, it would be nice if my Mesmers actually use their interrupts. I totally don't have like 9 interrupts on this team, and like 2 of them were actually cast, but it's okay. Sometimes the UI can be a little worthless. Or not the UI, sorry, the AI. The UI is fine. Actually, I'm gonna get this Wandering pack before. Wow, these things really do hit hard. Like 100 damage a cast. That's pretty high for this point in the game. And that's pretty high in general. Thankfully, though, we'll get to clear a lot of this DP off everybody as we kill through these bosses and stuff. Since this mission has a lot of bosses in it. So one thing is, of course, because you have the vision crystal in your hand, you can't pick up the splinter mines. Well, you could. You just drop the crystal and pick it up, but it's not as convenient. grab some of that. Kill the enchanted sword back here. Alright. I think once you give him the crystal, there's actually the timer goes down more, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But I think the timer actually goes down more if you give. Look at that statue there. That's cool. Give him the crystal. So the trick is just leave the crystal 2 feet in front of him and then go get the other one. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Alright, there we go. Do this here. Let's see these massive skulls and bones and stuff. These are from the... I believe they're from an ancient race of stuff that we actually don't learn a lot about in-game. I want to say they're the Titans, but the Titans are mobs we fight. And I'm pretty sure these are like a group that we don't actually know that much about. But we do see these giant bones all over the game, and there is some lore about them. They are connected to some ancient civilization or some ancient group of enemies. Priest Natem's bones. I don't think this is the way we're supposed to go. Yeah, we're supposed to go over here into the camp. Again, one of the things about this these missions is that because these are the first places that you could have found elite skills, there's essentially a boss of each profession in each mission to give you the chance to cap your first elite skill. And obviously, I don't know if they ever did this on purpose, but the elite skills you can cap here are generally pretty bad. There's a couple that are okay, but generally pretty bad. Grab that. Turn off the splinter mine. Out. Well, I think groups keep coming out of there, so we want to get over here. Make sure we're killing the boss guy first, because he's a... If we see what his friends can do to us earlier in the mission. Oh, looks like somebody else leveled up. Alright, we got another vision crystal. We can run this one back. Let's kill these guys in our way. We could wait for them to patrol, but I still need XP to hit max level anyway, so not that big of a deal to just kill them. I think it's just these 2 crystals. Yeah. It's just these 2 crystals. Okay. That's not too bad. Alright. We blasted them. Okay, yeah, so now we should be able to give him both of them. I don't think it lowers the timer, but it might. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that incorrectly. So we have 18 minutes. No, it doesn't. Okay, we're good. I don't know why I thought it did that. You see there's 3 pedestals there that he's putting the rocks on, so he can commune.
The vision crystal is complete. Your day of judgment at Augury Rock is near. The gaze of the gods shall be focused upon you, and your path will be made clear.
Alright, and just like all the other missions, it plops us back out here at Augury Rock. So, give me 1 second, I'm going to go pull up a map and we can make our way towards the final mission for the desert. Or the final mission of these 3 for the desert. Alright, we got the map up, we're good to go. So I think for this one we want to go out... Looks like we still got this exit. We're heading this way. This is one thing I really like. I really like the mission map. I know we have a mini map, but the mission map's nice because you can kind of zoom it out a little more, but also it shows where you've been. The little dotted line. I don't know, I kind of like that. So maybe some people argue that like stuff like these symbols showing us where people are should be on the actual mini map. I could totally see an argument for that. But I do very much appreciate the little mini map telling you where you've been. Alright, this is I'll try to pull like one on. I'm gonna try and not kill my team to all these hydras. Looks like all of these hydras have separate aggro despite being kind of grouped up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Interrupt. 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 Oh Jesus. Nope. Run. 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 They saw nothing. Why do they hit so hard? Why are my heroes so bad at interrupting? You people are normally gods at this stuff. Did they change the hero UI and make them crap? I think they changed the hero UI and made them crap. Oh. Uh-oh. Don't die. Don't die. No. No. I'm alive. I'm dead. Ow. I think that's the first wipe of the series, which is really embarrassing considering I have actual heroes, but considering they didn't want to do their jobs, I'm not so upset. It didn't interrupt anything. There's only 3 enemies, you worthless pieces of junk. And like... Look at this. Look at this. All right. 1 interrupt. 2 interrupt. 3 interrupt. 4. 5 interrupt. 6 interrupt. And then these 2 skills are a hex they can put on the enemy, and then once they cast it'll interrupt. So they have 3 interrupts that they can hit right away, and they have 1 that they can cast on the enemy, and then it'll interrupt whenever they cast a skill. They somehow did none of that. No, oh, but don't worry, this time they're going to be able to handle like 6 of them. Dang nabbit. Silly AI. Oh, we leveled up though. Get our final point in domination magic. Anyone else need? Yes, you do. All right, they should be fine. I'm going up this way and to the left. But yeah, when you die, you just pop up at the shrine once everybody dies. If you all die within a mission, you get kicked out, kicked back to the beginning, and have to redo the entire mission. Oof. These elementalists are no joke. I can't get over how much damage these things do. I know, like, they're meant to be enemies you fight one at a time, so that's why they do so much damage, but, like, 100 damage from a single ability is a lot. I know we're not, like, at the end game of the game yet, and I'm not max level, but, like, it is very rare outside of, like, specific cases where you're building for your skills to do more than 100 damage, like you're using holy damage versus undead people, or you're using a ton of external buffs and stuff like that. Like, it is not super common for stuff to do 100 damage. Like, 100 damage is a pretty large number in this game for a single ability. Like, my elite skill, this one here, Energy Surge, this will do 100 if I max out my Dom, like get a bunch of runes and stuff like that. That'll do about 99, somewhere in that range. I think it's either 99 or 90. So that's pretty close. And obviously it is a relatively spammable skill, but it is my elite skill. And that is with me having like 16 domination magic as well, which is like the max a player can have. And that's one of the more damaging skills because it's got the condition that it has to rip energy off people to do the damage. Normally, like, if something does do that much damage, it has to be a conditional skill. Like this here. It only does that one 12 to summon creatures, not to the actual... Not to, like, you know, just normal mobs. Or like Backfire would be a good example of a skill that can commonly hit over 100, but that's because it requires the enemy to cast a spell for them to take damage. Alright, I think I should be going the right way. I like how I say I like this U map here. I think you actually can, yeah, you can make this as big as you want if you need to make it bigger. I was gonna say, I like how I say I like this U map, and then I constantly don't use it. Not a lot of enemies in this area, considering we were getting shablasted by the Hydras in the previous area. Can we go down there? Okay, yeah, we can. So I think... I'm trying to look here. It's hard to tell where we're supposed to go. Is this here? I think this is here. No. No, it's farther down this way. Here's some desert griffins. Oh, some sand giants. There's some more of those. Some more giants. Giants are, again, probably one of the rarer mob types. It's kind of insane because I've spent a lot of time playing this game. Like a lot of time playing this game, especially as a kid or even relatively recently. But because I spent most of my time in the endgame super elite areas, I'm not actually like super familiar with a lot of the mobs in the entire game. I'm really only like very familiar with the mobs from those elite areas, which are pretty unique generally to those areas. They're not enemies that are everywhere. So I think these giants have a mechanic where they knock down on... Oh, no, they have a... That's right, they have the PvE only skill that knocks you down. The giant stomp. I'm thinking of there's different mobs in a different part of the game that have that kind of like a similar model to that, but every time they crit you, they knock you down and they have very high crit. This sand elementals, I actually don't think I've ever seen this model. It's a different model of the Earth Golem. See, this is why I thought this would be fun to go back and do, because there's enemies and types and like, you know, some of the NPCs and stuff that I've never actually seen. I've seen these things. Sandworms. These are pretty cool. These are terrifying. There's some like... There's some pretty interesting lore about these things that we'll get to in one of the other campaigns. But also there's some pretty messed up stuff about these things like eating people and stuff coming through the sands. Some snarly stuff. I'm trying to find out where I am on this map. Do I not? Can I not go down here? I can't. Oh, I can't. I go around there. Okay. I think we have to take that teleporter over there. I think that's where we're headed. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Like 80, 85%. Swap that, so not getting messages. Alright, so this, where's this taking us? I think this teleports us over there, okay. Alright. There. Okay. This one. This one. Yeah, especially because I'm not someone who ever did the whole vanquishing thing, which is where you go through and clear every mob in a lot of these zones. I am not the most familiar with all the different mobs, so it's kind of cool getting to go through and see some of them. Alright, and here we are at the last mission, the Dunes of Despair. Probably the hardest of the three and the longest, at least I'm pretty sure it is, if memory serves me right. So, considering our recent struggles, this one might actually be a challenge. This is one of the smallest outposts, though. Again, I just love the idea that a random, like, even the merchant is a dead guy, but still the Zunlai agent is forced to come out here and have her chest. But anyway, that's going to be all for today's episode. I want to thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.